owning a Raptor for 2 years. That's what this video is about. It's right there. And I love it. First, let me show you everything I've done to it. And then I got to go to Home Depot. So we'll drive over to Home Depot. I'll tell you what it's been like owning it. I got projects in my hands and my registration. I'll flip it around and I'll show you. I should probably put the truck in the background, right? I'm gonna put all this stuff down. I'll show you everything I've done to it because that's actually been the most fun for me. I really haven't put a lot of miles on it, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'm getting a phone call. The phone just never stops. I hate the way that the iPhone just holds you hostage when you're getting a call. You can't do anything. You have to just sit there and wait. Anyway, this is the truck. It's a 2022, and I'm dragging on. I'll talk about this when we get in the truck. Let me show you what I've done to it. I should probably start with what I haven't done to it yet. That's the microphone. That is a new project. And that is to hold my phone while we're driving. So first thing, this is the dog seat, and it is amazing. It sits right in the center. If you follow my channel, you know I've got a little dog, and this is her seatbelt. And we are training her to sit there, and she's doing pretty good. This is little stickers that I got. Isn't that cool? Little Raptor stickers. And I think I might stick them like in there. Or maybe I'll stick one back here somewhere. Where would I put it? Maybe right there? I don't know. Someplace where you really wouldn't notice it unless you noticed it. But they came from Etsy, and I think they're cool. I'm definitely gonna put one on the windshield. Maybe I'll put one right there on the rearview mirror. But progress, because they have now made it into the truck. They've been sitting in the house for a month. These just came from this company called Desert something. Desert, whatever that says. Desert Does It. So Desert Does It. That better be a sticker. I love stickers. So somehow, oh no, that looks like it's gonna be, well, now that I'm looking at this, these things are supposed to lift the seat, but I didn't realize that on the Raptor, the seat sits like this. So I can tell you I am not going to have a space there. That would be unacceptable. But there's been a number of times driving where I feel like I want to push this up because the driving position, it just feels like this should be higher and this should be lower. So I would say that is one experience about this truck that I wish I could change. In my Tacoma, I put a little thing here, but you can't really tell because the Tacoma doesn't have this plastic. It's just a rail. So you don't really notice that you modified it. So these were like 90 bucks. They may be going back. I'm gonna have to research their return policy because that's not gonna look right. I put that's my other car. I put I should probably edit this. I put a rope on the keychain because I couldn't figure out what to do with the keychain. And I think this is really, first of all, I can play with it in my pocket, which I like to do. But, you know, it matches the truck, and it's just a rope. I got it from West Marine or somewhere. Put a little knot in it, burned the ends. And lots of people ask, where'd you get that? When they see it. Anyway, I thought that was a neat idea because I don't carry any other keys. This is my registration, which is about to expire, that finally made it into the truck also. And let's see, what else can I talk about that I've done? I put this radar detector in. It's called a blend mount. That's the mount, and hardwired it. So it makes for a nice clean mount. I forget that it's there. I don't have to really worry about it. I put this, you have to really search on Amazon because this visor is freaking massive. And it took me a while to find a visor thing that actually fit these huge sun visors. I have auto start delete right here. I don't have this, but I installed the button. I had to order the button special because there was a blank there, and I hate blanks. And there is actually a blank in this somewhere. Oh, it's right here. See that? Fully loaded, but there's nothing right there. I find that insanely annoying. But I couldn't tolerate a blank right here. So this thing lights up at night, but it's non-functional. It doesn't actually do anything. Truck needs to be cleaned. I've got the heated steering. This is normally another blank. I never use it, but that's something that they avoid putting in to speed up production when they run out of parts. I changed the running boards. I flipped them. You can see how this seam right here lines up perfectly with the door. See that? This is a polarizing topic. People are really adamant one way or the other, but I can tell you after almost 2 years, there is no rock chips whatsoever. Why they put these things on, in my opinion, backwards is just the strangest thing to me. But if you want to learn about that, I have a video on that. I put new to me. I got these were takeoffs off Amazon, and then I put black lug nuts. And all this is the 37 rim on the 35 tire. I actually prefer the 35 tire because it is fatter than the 37. The 37 is taller, but the 35 is fatter. And I like the fat tire look. I think it looks more Raptor. I don't particularly like the 37s. I also don't like aftermarket stuff that doesn't look like it should be made by Ford. So these were my best option. I really like them. I'm glad I got them. They go great with the silver truck. I put this wing on. Got a video on that. I put this cover on. It's made by Back something, Revolver. It's made by them. And I love it. It works really great. I put this B&M hitch that I've never actually used, and shark's teeth. This has gone with me through. It's actually shark teeth, but it looks like Raptor teeth. It could be Raptor teeth. I had to cut this thing off because it blocked this, and a cop pulled me over and was not happy. I will tell you that the tailgate fills up with sand. It is unbelievably annoying. So what happened was I got some grass from Home Depot. I put the grass in here, and the grass ended up getting sand everywhere. The sand got in here. This was months and months and months ago. I have washed the step out. See the sand? And the sand just continues to fall out of the tailgate. Every time it rains, every time I wash it, I end up with sand. I love this step. 2 years later, it works perfectly. I never, ever use this. I never use the handle. I just get in. But I use this step constantly. I'm not particularly careful with it. It works amazing. I love the step. It's not Rhino coating, it's called something else, Line-X. I did the premium Line-X that's kind of glossy. At first, I was not happy that I did that because it was too glossy and it looked funny to me. But now, about a year later, I'm happy that I did it. The way this thing just opens and rolls, if you get one of these, it does leave marks. These pads leave marks. One thing that I've just had to learn, this truck lives outside. I don't have any door dings, amazingly. No scratches, no rock chips. But as far as just being dirty, you know, this and this, I just have to embrace it. I'm normally pretty obsessed with stuff being perfect, but with this, I just have to accept it. I did a video on this, but I made these. They are ratchet straps with, I can't remember the name of the company, but these wings. It's been maybe a year. They work perfectly. This bed extender is from Ford. You could get the Amp Research one. I bought a Yeti specifically for the truck. It's nice. It's so nice to have a cooler when you say to yourself, crap, I wish I had a cooler. Well, keeping a Yeti in the back 24/7 has turned out to be fantastic. I use these lights all the time. All the time. Very happy that I have them. What else do I use? This power thing, it came with the truck. I thought it was gimmicky, you know, like, why would I use that? I have used it so many times. It'll run a vacuum, it'll charge my Milwaukee tools. You put the truck in generator mode. I did learn that you cannot put it in generator mode when you are low on gas. But when you hit generator mode, it cranks up the RPM a little bit. And I have not hooked something up. I've hooked up a table saw, a vacuum. I have yet to hook something up that it won't run. So that's been excellent. This looks rusty right there. It really isn't rusty. It's all stainless, but it has like some kind of oxidation on it. But nothing too bad. No real rust anywhere that I can see. I did buy a 5th rim like this, so the spare is the same. It matches. Let's go around to the front. Oh, first let's go in here. I put this thing in. You pull this, and then down comes the seat. And if you have the amp package and the subwoofer, there's really no room for anything. That's the divider for the Yeti. I got a funnel because that's where it happens to fit. But it does make a good place for your sun visor right there. And that's literally all I've ever put back here. This is what this latch looks like. I'm trying to get the seatbelt out. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to get the seatbelt out of the way. There we go. That's what the latch looks like. And I'm glad I did this because that, you really do have to slam it to get it in there right. But that sun visor would just kick around here and there. It was always in people's way. I did get a set of towels. These come from IKEA. They are like a waffle. They match the truck. I have 2 of them, and I always keep them in here for the dogs and whatever. And then I have a fully stocked, one of these days, maybe I'll make a video of what's under my seat. That little folding stool that you saw in the bed, that goes right in there also. And this is, of course, the dog seat. And the dog seat just kind of goes here and hangs. I have a bungee between the headrests. I had the windows tinted. I had it ceramic coated. I had the entire front of it covered with paint protection film. I put this little Raptor thing here. People have made fun of me for this, but I can't stand the 2 holes for the license plates in states that don't have a license plate. The day I bought it, I took the covers off of the other lights and I never put them back on. I use those lights occasionally. People do flash at me if I forget that they're on. And if you leave the switch on, they stay on. So you end up with this orange running light with this white light. It looks like a running light. I think it's a waste of, you know, like you don't really need them. So I don't leave them on. I try to remember to always turn them off. I took the little mud flap off that goes right here. There's a flap, and I put the screws back in so that it looked finished. You know, it didn't look like I removed anything, but it gives it kind of that off-road look. you know, you just see more of the tire and more of the lower control arm. I think that's what that's called. It's very easy. It's literally like 2 or 3 screws. I really think that's it. Oh, little stubby. This antenna flops. The Ford one really bends at about 60, 70 miles an hour. So I put that on there and I've never had a problem with it. It actually has carbon fiber, which as suspected is kind of aging. Looks like a bug hit it, but that antenna has been great. And I really think that's it. I have a new air intake for it that I've never bothered to put in. That'll be a project for someday when I have some time. I think that's it. I can't think of, if I think of anything else, I'll mention it as we're driving. Let's go to Home Depot. All right, well, none of these microphones worked. And it is really hot. You see the sweat? Whew. I can't imagine if I had a black truck. Originally, I had an option to get a black one. And I decided not to. Oh my God. Because I really hate the way black looks dirty. I ordered a silver one. I really wanted a silver one, and driving into my grass. Anyway, I ordered the silver one. I ended up with the silver one, but the temptation was there to get this black one a couple months earlier, and I'm glad I didn't, because the silver is hot. With the black interior, I can't imagine having a black with black interior. You must just cook. It must take the AC a while. I never really open this sunroof thing. I'm in Florida. It's freaking hot all the time. I take that back. I never open it, but what I do is open the screen so you can see the sky. And I mostly do that at night if there are people in the back seat, but if it's just my wife and I or the dog or whatever, I don't bother. It just stays closed. And inevitably when I open it, I forget to close it. So then it's really freaking hot when I get in if I forget to close it. I've had zero problems with it mechanically. It's been a great driving experience. I love driving it. You freaking own the road. People actually move out of your way. You know those people that will just drive slow in the left-hand lane? They see you coming. It must look large coming from behind you in your rearview mirror. They can see you coming, and they get out of the way. It is so comfortable to drive. Unbelievably comfortable. We recently took a trip in a different car, and I really missed driving it. When people say it drives like a Cadillac, it's so comfortable, and you can do all kinds of cool things with the exhaust and the steering and the suspension. Like, for instance, you can, if you like it to be sporty, you can put the, okay, it's a 4-way stop. I'll wait for everyone, no problem. If you put the exhaust in quiet, you can tighten up the suspension, you can tighten up the steering, so you can feel sporty, but not have a lot of noise. You can make everything so soft that it feels like you're driving a Cadillac. I've never really used Baja. Baja stays in a low gear and turns on the video screen. You should really try it, but just don't try it like in traffic, because it revs the engine like crazy. There is one thing that I had service done on it. The exhaust rattled. I did a video on this. Totally fixed. They replaced the springs in the exhaust with a larger spring and a different type of assembly. That was over a year ago. Completely fixed that. No more exhaust rattle. Sounds solid. The exhaust rattle was actually embarrassing. You would start it, you'd be talking to somebody, you know, standing next to the truck, you'd start it, and it sounded like just the most ghetto, cheap, tingy rattling. It was terrible. I'm so glad they fixed it. Haven't had a problem since. I did bring it. I do have my oil changes at Ford. I've done 2 oil changes. I have almost 6,000 miles on it, so obviously I don't drive it that much, but I've just changed the oil, you know, I guess every 3,000 miles or whatever. And I told Ford to put synthetic in it, and they didn't. They put a blend in it. So they were going to change it, drain it and change it, and then they offered, why don't you just live with this, with the blend, and then the next time we'll give you a free synthetic change. We'll see. You know, there's supposed to be a record of it. The guy still works there. I'm hoping that I don't have to, you know, throw a tantrum to get what I want when it comes to, you know, because I actually paid for it with points.
Police reported ahead.
Which I didn't want to pay for with points. But anyway, the relationship with a Ford dealer is probably your typical love-hate relationship with any car dealer. I have no reason to complain, but I feel like they're ripping me off, and I feel like, I don't know. I'm not going to digress into my personal feelings about my Ford dealer, but the thing about Ford that really upsets me is the fact that you cannot buy one of these for sticker price. Like, you can order a freaking 911, you can order a Mercedes, and they will order it for you, and you can get it eventually. It'll take forever, but you can get it. These, you can't even order them. The dealers are so greedy that they keep all of the allocations for themselves so that they can put it on the floor and sell it at, you know, whatever price. I think Raptor R's are going for 30 over, and these are mostly going for 10 or 15 over. It's just crap. Anyway, but I have to tell you, I love driving it. When I'm not driving it, I miss not having it. The gas mileage is terrible. It's like 12 at best. And one of the reasons why it's terrible is because it does feel like it has a lot of power. I can't imagine what the V8 feels like. This thing in sport mode feels like it's got plenty of power. So you want to hit the gas. Like, you are hitting the gas more than if you didn't have power to play with. There's no wheel vibration. I've had Tacoma, Jeep, different trucks with larger tires, and there's always been some kind of vibration. The suspension is amazing. There's no vibration. There's hardly any real, you don't feel like the tire is rolling when you go around corners. It really just feels very, very comfortable. There is one thing about the width. It still gets me every once in a while. You feel like if you have to pass a car or another truck on a residential road, you feel like you're going to take out the mailbox. If you go through a toll and you're not, all the way down to 15 miles an hour or whatever, you go through a toll at like 30, you feel like you almost have to, you feel like you're going to squeeze your shoulders together, like that's going to matter, but you feel too fat for the thing that you're going through, whether it's a toll plaza or trying to avoid a mailbox or another car or whatever. It is wide. It is noticeably wide. I still have not figured out how to back in, but I do understand why you see so many trucks backed in. And the reason is leaving. So I need to learn how to back in better, because I suck at it. I can back up a trailer around the block, but I can't back into a parking spot. I never get it right. I don't know how far forward to pull before I start reversing and turning my wheels. I really just need to figure it out, but I just normally just pull in. And also, based on the amount that I drive, I'm supposed to turn there. Crap. The amount that I drive, I don't really practice a lot, but someday I'll figure it out. But anyway, you do want to get good at backing in, because when you go to leave, backing out is a real pain sometimes, depending on how cars are maneuvered in the parking lot. I usually park as far away as I can, or I park right next to a handicap so that I have some extra space, trying to avoid door dings. But anyway, what else? The app is cool. I enjoy locking it, unlocking it, starting it through the iPhone app. I have an iPhone. I don't know if it's the same for Android, but I was going to Home Depot, but I forgot that I was going to Home Depot because I was talking to you through this whole thing. So we have a rental property I need to do some work on, so I'll go to Home Depot later. But anyway, the experience of the app is really, really cool. It works. It gives you reminders. The software updates are slightly annoying because it resets some of your stuff. Like the gauges, you can program where you want your own gauges. And twice now during a software update, it's erased my choice of gauge and put it back to wherever, factory. There is a kind of a blank digital switch on the screen that you can program, and I wasn't really sure what to do with that until recently. I made it Wi-Fi forever just so it looked like something that was relevant, but I have now made it the power generator because I forget where the power generator is on the menus, and that is what I use the most out of the features. Mostly I just use Waze and the Apple apps. I hardly ever use anything else. But whenever I go to look for the generator button, I can never find it. So now I've programmed that in that blank, and it's fantastic because when I need it, I just hit it. Here, I'll hit it now. I don't know if you can hear this, but I'll hit generator mode. And if you could hear that, it just cranked up the RPM. It gives you a warning, and then listen. That's generator mode off. By the way, I'm not in sport mode. I'm in regular mode, but that makes it very convenient. When I first got the truck, I was driving around in sport mode all the time, and I found it very irritating that when you turn it on, you have to turn it to sport. It's 2 clicks to the left, so you basically jump in, hit start, 2 clicks to the left, 2 clicks to the left. Now it does remind you or give you an option that says, would you like to return to sport mode? But if you don't hit OK fast enough, it doesn't go back into sport mode. Lately, I've been driving around in regular mode more. I don't know why, probably because I'm very busy and I have other things on my mind, but for the most part, I don't know what that is right there. There's a little, oh, that's not it looks like a button. I'll show it to you in a minute. But anyway, I mostly use sport mode and the regular mode. I don't really tow anything. We don't have boats on trailers anymore. The fuel range is crazy. It holds 38 gallons, I think, 36 or 38 gallons. I can't remember which, but depending on your driving, you get close to 450, 425 miles. So you feel like it's good on gas because you could take a pretty far trip with a full tank, but it is not good on gas. But it's very convenient that it has a super large tank because you're not constantly filling up. I do put only 97 octane in it. I've never put anything under 97 or whatever it is, 93 I guess. I put the highest octane, not 97, it is 93. And I've never had any kind of knocking or anything at all. Literally nothing has broken. I have no complaints, nothing rattles. 2 years, nothing rattles. It does smell musty when it rains, and I think I know why, and I'll show you. So I got to show you two things: the button and why it smells musty when it rains. I got these really great air fresheners that work really well, but the water gets in the doors basically, and then it steams in the doors and gives you this musty smell. There's no liquid in the car whatsoever. When you open the door, water comes out. It's designed that way, but there's no vapor barrier to keep the musty smell coming from the door from getting in the truck. I think that's stupid, but that's the way they built it. But I've had absolutely no problem. No engine problems, no electrical problems, nothing. 2 years, almost 6,000 miles. Thing works perfectly. I never use this drop down shifter thing. I've never flipped this up and used it as a table ever. The cup holders hold a full size or this size Yeti, which I don't know what size this is, but the cup holders are plenty big enough. There's this little compartment that you can stick your phone in. I use that all the time. It's fantastic. This little compartment, let me turn around and show you some of this stuff. So this is the phone compartment. It's excellent. Here's the cup holders. They're big. This thing I've never dropped into there. I just never, you know, I don't ever need to do that. But it's there if you like it. This little compartment here, I have never used. It's totally empty. I can barely reach it. And here is, see that hole right there? Right there. There's one there. There's one there. And there's one there. Somewhere. Right there. Where'd it go? Oh. I can't see. Oh, there it is. Right there. Anyway, these weep water after a good rain. And the water is getting in through the glass, I believe, or somewhere. I have no idea where. But a little water will pour out of there, and it gets a musty smell. Gets a musty smell in the truck. Oh, here's something that's annoying. This is faded. So this is black. This is, you know, but this has noticeably faded. It's kind of a grayish. Oh, my daughter's calling me. I gotta get that. Okay. Talked to my daughter. Finished patching holes at a rental property. And I left my tailgate open. So, all in all, I absolutely love this truck. I'm so glad I bought it. I would buy it again. They've changed the front, which I don't really like. I like the front on the 2022 and 3 or whatever better than the new one. And, you know, if I could get an R, I would be tempted, but I don't like, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I don't like the 37 tires. So I will likely keep this for a very, very long time. I usually keep trucks and cars, you know, 10 years, 15 years. So I hope it continues to perform, but the first 2 years have been amazing. And I would highly recommend getting one. If you have a specific question, this video was actually, somebody asked if I would do a ownership review on it. So thank you for suggesting that. It's a great idea. But if you have any specific questions, please leave them in the comments. I answer all my comments. And I'd love to do a video on something for you, or just answer a question about something you may be wondering. The other thing that I didn't mention that I've done is Forescan. I think that's how you say it. I've bought the year subscription or whatever it is and hooked the truck up, and I turned off the horn beeping when you lock the doors. I did a couple of other things I don't remember. I did a video on it, the stuff that I changed. But that was cool. It was very easy, dummy proof. But most of all, the truck has just been fun. You know, it's been fun to accessorize. It's been fun to buy stuff for it. I'm kind of at the point where I've done everything that I want to do, and now we just kind of take it on vacation, and I use it to do stuff like haul stuff around. Actually, stopping by my daughter's house for the other half of my Father's Day. I got a text her, so I need my phone. I know this video is all choppy, but this is another thing I did. I put this locking thing over the OBD2 port, whatever that thing is called, and it locks on with these special screws. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. I love it. Check that out. So you may know, if you follow my channel, I got this little dog, Lacey. She's a Lagotto Romagnolo. I never even heard of that until my wife found Googling dogs that don't shed that are good at the beach. And if you are interested in this little dog, you can take a look on my channel. I have a playlist called Raising a Lagotto Romagnolo, and you can learn all about it if you want. But I love my new hat, the Dog Father. My daughter is very thoughtful and very clever. My new visor. Anyway, so some number of years ago, about 20 cars around my neighborhood were stolen in one night. It was incredible. And they only stole cars with push to start. And the way they did it is they had some kind of device that they could basically hook into the OBD2 thing, and then, well, first they had to get in. I guess first they unlock the doors with their little device, and then they hook into the port to start the car. Once the car is running, they can unplug it, and as long as and get it into drive, and once it's unplugged, then they can't take it out of drive. If they do, it'll lock, and they won't be able to get it back out of park. So, I figured that if I put that device on there, it would just be a little harder to steal this thing. Sometimes I put a club on it if I'm going to leave it outside. It lives outside. It doesn't live in the garage. So I figure, what's a little extra? I would really like it not to be stolen, mostly because of everything I did to it. I mean, insurance, it would be a hassle. And I really like it. So I figured the club and that thing will help. But anyway, I can't think of any other thing that I would want you to know about this truck, what I've done to it, how I feel about it, and how much I love it. So if you're thinking about getting one 2 years later, it's fantastic. I don't think I have anything else. I think I just talked for probably close to 30 minutes. Anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe. Check out the Raptor playlist, because I think I have maybe 8 or 9 videos now on it. The next video that I'll do was going to be lifting the seat, but I don't think that's going to work out, so I got to call the company and find out what their return policy is. But eventually, someday, I will install that air intake. I can't remember the name of the one that I bought, but I mostly bought it because I want to hear more intake sounds. I want to hear the turbo. I want to hear the suction of air. Any truck, or well, I guess 3 trucks now, 2 Tundras and a Tacoma, I change the air intake, and it just makes it sound better. It makes it sound, more mechanical up front. But I haven't had time to put it in, and then summer came and it's unbelievably hot. So probably this winter in Florida, I'll go ahead and install that, and I'll definitely do a video on it. There's other videos, but mine are more detailed, I think. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you next time.